A little bit country and a little bit bluegrass. Singer, songwriter, and teacher Deborah Berg is today's guest. She is here with her latest release, New Road Home, and her backstories on the Better Each Day podcast radio show.
Podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. Today and every day, reaching out for innovative ideas in every way. Today's show is brought to you by your future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. Ooh, make a better stay now, baby. Ooh, better in every way.
The heat wave is over. And we are experiencing rather glorious weather today. Mm-hmm. For once, it's been blazing hot, and urban life and blazing hot don't go together too well.
No,
it's been seriously hot here, but it's all good. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be all right.
Where are you located?
At present, I am located in Manhattan, New York City.
Okay.
The Big Apple.
That's what I thought, and it's a big hot apple right now.
Yeah, it's a sticky, hot, candied mess of an apple.
Delish.
But
yeah.
But it'll be okay. It's all right. You know what's cool about New York is how you can just, once the sun goes down, it all starts to calm down. I mean, of course, it's never quiet. It's never not frenetic because people are so busy doing all sorts of things. But at least the temperature takes you down to like let's walk to Soho and get something to eat, you know? It's really nice. Or let's walk over to the West Village. Let's walk over to Hudson River. Once the sun goes down, it's all manageable. But while the sun is out, it's like, keep me in the air conditioning.
So let's start out talking about your new album was released in March, correct?
Yeah, close enough. End of February it was released, yeah.
New Road Home available on iTunes and Amazon and wherever toys are sold.
Yep.
That's what they used to say when we were kids.
Just add water.
Yeah. Instant water. Add water and stir. Meet Me in the Middle.
Meet Me in the Middle was played for me by a student of mine who was taking a stagecraft class that I was teaching. And she had some pretty good ideas for the song. And she asked me if I would help her write this song. So this song is co-written. And at first I just sort of, we worked via phone. This was after the workshop. This was like a couple months later. And I sort of offered ideas that, as I would a student, like, to inspire them to go further into where their, the beginning of the song was taking them. So I just offered teachery sort of suggestions about the song itself, the phrasing of the song, the chord changes. And the more I got into it, lyrically, I started throwing lyric lines out. And once you start throwing lyric lines out, that is not what a teacher, generally does. A teacher generally uses, enthusiasm and support for their student to come up with the words, because it's their student's song. It is not the teacher's song. So once I started throwing these lyrics out to Liz Nagy, who I wrote this song with, I'm like, you know what, Liz? I think we should. I need to ask you something. Would it be all right if we co-wrote this song? Mm-hmm. And she was like, yes, I would love that. And we had a blast. It was a really cool way to work together. And and I love the outcome. And I think you're right. I think the dance floor was kind of the theme of the, initial spark of the individuals in the storyline and the visual, the spark of the visual. As a famous songwriter, Mac McAnally, once told me, he said, in terms of lyrics, you need furniture in your story. So he would say, the dance floor is your furniture. It's like, the listener needs something to sit down and come back to and find a place of comfort in the song. So usually maybe more than not, your furniture lands in what we would call the chorus.
Well, that makes sense.
So won't you meet me in the middle, is a symbolism for coming back, coming down, sitting down, listening to it again, being able to sing along to it, find the harmony if you feel like it. And that is the furniture in the song of Meet Me in the Middle, is the dance floor.
I remember the first time I saw you. Those bright eyes were twinkling at me. You stepped up and said, let's go dancing, a move that was meant to be. We floated across the dance floor, your body so close to mine. You whispered softly to me, your touch is familiar and fine. And I wondered if you could tell so quickly from the start, from the moment you led me out on the floor, I was already holding your heart. Oh, say you'll meet me in the middle when the music begins. Step out of the shadows to feel real love again. Stars must have all been aligned when they shone down upon me and you. From then on, we went on together, but we hung up our dancing shoes. Tell me, why would we ever close that door? Never take another turn on the dance floor. Someone's tired, raising kids or working late. Little reasons that got in the way. Oh, say you'll meet me in the middle when the music begins.
love this song. How would you describe your music?
I would describe my music as storytelling music. I think the major element would be storytelling and harmonies.
Because even on your website said cross between country with echoes of bluegrass.
I would say that my songs are bluegrass based, and I think I would say that because of the storylines and because there's only drums in one of the 10 songs. Bluegrass bands generally don't have drummers. Mm-hmm. I mean, traditional bluegrass.
Yeah.
These days in Americana bluegrass, they can have anything, but in the old days, they didn't often have, a rhythm section or drums. So, and all my songs are without drums except for one song, which is called "You're Gone." But say, for instance, "Bet on the Horses," which is a duet, a murder ballad duet. There are no drums on that song, nor are there drums for "Meet Me in the Middle."
Well, that's a good segue into "Bet on the Horses." Someone gets shot, and how did we come about betting on horses? Bet on the gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what we were talking about earlier about what's your furniture?
Yeah.
What's the furniture in your song? Mm-hmm. Here is a song about it's taken from the sort of outline of original bluegrass, with murder ballads being quite prevalent in the storytelling of the early American bluegrass songwriters. They seem to have a little bit of a violent streak that ties in with their amorous feelings for young ladies who don't want to marry them. So the storyline on these occasions with these songs is that they are usually young lovers walking through the woods or walking by the river, and he says he loves her and she says she doesn't want to marry him, and he ends up strangling her or killing her and leaving her in the river to die.
Okay, and this one, he gets killed.
Yeah, so it's 2000, whatever it is, 19.
Yeah.
And the twist is that she's hip to him. This isn't 1939. We're not walking in, the hills of Kentucky. She comes to her brother's house and says, I think I just, domestic violence, something went bad. She accidentally shot him as he was trying to get to her, and now she's got to deal with what she's done.
And it's his gun, too.
And it's his gun.
Yeah.
It is his own gun.
Stephen King.
And thank you you've done your homework here. I love this.
No, I haven't. That was a shot in the dark, no pun intended.
But the outcome, or the furniture in the room, is she's like, hey, can we just go to the horse racing track for a while? Because it's gonna get worse. I know it's gonna get worse, but can we just forget it all for a second and just head to the horse track? And her brother's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's sing this little number together before we deal with, burying the body in the pine barrens of New Jersey. So this is a modern day murder ballad sung by a brother and a sister. And the sister's the one who's shaking in her flip-flop.
The other singer on it's Hugh Pool.
Hugh Pool. He's a New Yorker. He's got a great voice. He's a great songwriter. He's got his own recording studio in Brooklyn, and he's a big personality, that Hugh Pool. He can take on characters as you probably noticed in his brother, rendition. I loved how he sounded. Mm-hmm. It's kind of an eerie song, but there's a good amount of harmony, and it's an interesting story, and it's not impossible. I think it's a very possible story. It's a plausible story, and women have to deal with this. I mean, men do too, but women really have to deal with domestic violence, and she did what she had to do. Unfortunately, she shot the guy. So sometimes you gotta own up to what you do, and before you do that, you just want to go bet on the horses with your brother.
Oh, sister, my sister, tell me what's wrong. Why'd you come see me down here on your own? What is the trouble, how you've come undone? A hard life begins in your eyes. Little sister, tell me no lies.
Oh, brother, my brother, I won't lie to you. I'm fired up and wired, and I can't see things through. You think I could stay with you just for a while? It's beginning to dawn what I've done. I left with my life and his gun. Hey now, let's go bet on the horses. It ain't over yet, and it's bound to get worse. So don't leave me now. I need to wager for place on the dapple bay. Safe till Judgment Day. Let's put all we got on the grave. Let's put all we got on the grave. I fought him hard this time. I swung and I kicked. He was waving his pistol, one hand round my neck. I could not take more of his dangerous ways, with strength from the angels above. I shoved him and shot with his gun. Hey now, let's go bet on the horses. It ain't over yet, and it's bound to get worse. So don't leave me now. I need to wager for place on the dapple bay. Safe till Judgment Day. Let's put all we got on the grave. Let's put all we got on the grave. I know that the sun does not shine upon those who will wrap up their secrets, like the spider and the fly.
Sister of mine, it was only a matter of time before all this unraveling would end with your life. If time is a tempest, this storm's raging fast. Sure as I'm standing here, this too shall pass. I know in these pine lands a man can get lost, a ghost in an old mining town where secrets lie buried in the ground.
Hey now, let's go bet on the horses. It ain't over yet, and it's bound to get worse. So don't leave me now. I need to wager for plays on the Daffodil Bay. Safe till Judgment Day. Let's put all we got on the grave. Let's put all we got on the grave. Let's put all we got on the grave. Let's put all we got on the grave.
I'm glad it's just a song, you know? That's the good thing about creating
Oh, my
something.
goodness.
Yeah.
Some of the songs in this collection are based on true stories.
Yeah.
This one, however, Bruce, I can assure you, I made it up in my head.
I like that. That's pretty cool. So you're originally from Seattle?
I am originally from Seattle. Yes, I am. I was born at Northgate Hospital in Shoreline, and which has now turned into a shopping mall, I hear.
Yes, and the shopping mall is morphing into something else now, so
Dang.
yeah, so
And I still have family nearby, and I come to the Pacific Northwest at least once a year, if not more. And my brother and there are 4 kids in our family. My brother and I are the youngest, and both of us were so upset when we moved from Seattle. He moved back many, many years ago. So he lives in the Seattle area, and my dad lives in the Seattle area. And, you know, I have nephews and cousins in the Seattle area, and a lot of good friends in the Seattle area who I have met through the awesome acoustic guitar camp I go to called Puget Sound Guitar Workshop. That's on the other side
over in Bremerton, I believe.
of Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's near Port Orchard, Bremerton, that sort of area.
I need to check that
I love
out.
the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the music there. I love how people play music there in terms of getting together to play, and I love the the venues and the bars, the Tractor Tavern, and let's see, what's it called? The Triple Door or something?
Triple Door, yeah. That's a popular venue. Yeah, there's some of the best acts that come through town play the Triple Door. It's a really good place.
Love it.
Yeah.
There's a great jazz club downtown.
Jazz Alley.
Jazz Alley. Love that place.
You speak,
Yeah, Seattle is very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Near and dear to my heart.
I was going to add, you speak very good Seattle, too. I can tell just exactly. You don't sound like you're from the East Coast.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, you speak on a silver platter. That's what they say about Seattle. Seattle, Pacific Northwest in general, and Nebraska. That's where Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett are from, is Nebraska. And they say those areas don't have accents. They speak newscaster English. I don't think I do because I kind of mumble sometimes. But yeah, so that's kind of a good thing to know if you're going into broadcasting. You don't have to make huge adjustments to the way you speak, as opposed as if you're from Mississippi or something like that. You're going to have to make some adjustments, or better yet, the Cajun accent, where you can't really understand what the guy's saying. How was it? How was it you came about playing this genre of music?
I've always felt it in my DNA. My dad's family were like sort of coal miners and, you know, I don't know, they were sort of Midwestern interesting folks. Mm-hmm. And my paternal grandmother used to sing songs to us that ended up being sort of old country songs. I didn't know it at the time, but, you know, like Bushel and a Peck and You Are My Sunshine and, you know, sweet little songs that I always thought were just her, you know, Grammy songs. And then I started playing guitar after being strictly a vocalist for quite a long time. I started playing guitar, and when you start to play guitar as an adult, for me, it was the easiest segue into feeling like I actually could manage to do well, was to start with simple country songs.
Yeah, well, as you say, you're kind of a storyteller, and there's no reason to be all over the fretboard and doing fancy stuff when you can tell a story and just back it up with 3, maybe 4 chords, you know. That's
quite good. Right, yeah. Yes. And I could do it. You know, I've tried playing the bass since then. I love playing the bass, but I cannot sing and play the bass to save my life. I don't know what is the matter with me, but I cannot do it. I'm like, I can't do it, but I can do it with the guitar.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I got into the genre of music. Before, when I didn't play guitar, I was more into rock and roll and jazzy pop songs, you know. But I always had that in the back of my gut, you know, there's heart. In the back of my heart was this Grammys kind of soothing music that, you know, took me into my family. And my family background is that my dad is retired, but was a Methodist minister. So the church has always been in my background, and the music of the church was always there for me, always, you know, the choirs and the visiting the family, and some of, you know, we were a little more sophisticated than other people in our family, or so we like to think. But when we'd visit them, you know, these old songs would come out. And I think in many ways, as a young, you know, adult trying to declare my independence, I really dove into music that was not from my people. You know, it was like rock and roll, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, like, you know, really interesting, sophisticated music. And I loved that. I hung out there for quite a while until that sort of, you know, I had enough. I got it. I went through it, and I moved into the acoustic world of less band, more storytelling. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started feeling myself back into my roots. And that's where this music on New Road Home just sort of settles in there.
I think some of the best players that you'll hear are playing what you're doing. There's a lot of really super good mandolin players. You being one, you play some mandolin in there. That's
Thank
exciting.
you so much. But believe me, I am wet behind the ears compared to the people I've played with here and elsewhere. But thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed playing the solo on Muddy Weather. It's what I heard. And Ken Rich, my producer, said, play what you hear. Let's, you know, we can hire people to come in and, you know, give us a mandolin solo if you don't want to, you know, but just play what you hear and let's hear how it sounds. So I did. I played what I heard. And he's like, I like it. It's fine. It's great. You know, I'm like, thank you.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What's great. Muddy Weather is a cool song. Just it's sort of a juxtaposition of words, too. because normally it doesn't rain mud except in Seattle, maybe. But how did you come about writing that one? This old muddy weather's turning into gold. That's some of the final lines. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a story about someone who's basically been kicked out of a relationship, and they're driving away from a pretty good relationship. And first they're like, "Man, here I go again. I'm leaving a relationship in the rain by myself." And they're thinking it over, as they're driving away in the rain. And by the end of the song, their thoughts have turned around. Instead of like, they couldn't handle who I was, and they don't want me, to relax and chill, by the end of the song, the person singing in the song is realizing, wait a minute. This person lights up my world. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to see, if there's a chance, if there's a chance, I want to take it. And so when they turn around, it's the beginning of the morning, and the sun's coming up, the new day. It's all very symbolic. And then the line is, hand to God, you are the reason why I am willing to be changing. Because of you. And then they turn around and they head back.
Solo and single on a Saturday night. Got the highway and nowhere to go. Here's hoping someday I'll be getting it right. Won't be rambling down this rainy road alone. Chilling time with a life so fine, sipping rosé wine. All I got is wipers keeping time to a steady beat, a empty open road. At least you'll give me time to think things over.
noticed about country music, Bruce, is that before I would write songs that were like tough. I'd write love songs that were like breakup songs. I'd write songs that didn't have much, happy ending. I wasn't into happy. Happy was for, simpletons or something. I just wanted to be like edgy. That's it. I wanted to be edgy. But with country music and bluegrass music, I am so much more interested in pulling it up into a more positive message of hope, faith, humor, compassion. Maybe you throw a murder ballad in there, but there's always a nugget. I like to, in each song I write, I like to put a nugget of positivity or faith that you got every chance that you can turn this thing around. Just a little snippet, because I think it's important to create an element of hopefulness for everybody.
We need some
We
hope.
have enough heaviness.
Oh, man.
There's enough of the edge. Enough with the, it didn't work out and I'm so blue, Let's just take it up a notch. That's how I feel.
What's refreshing to hear just acoustic instruments, and it's a noisy world, you're right. And I think the whole combination of your lyric content and how refreshing the instruments are is good. It's like I was listening to it this morning, and it's like I need to listen to this stuff more. My brain's just rattling with all the things that go on. I
really do actually like reading the newspaper. I'm one of the old school people. I like the newspaper being delivered. I like making coffee. I like drinking it while I read the paper. I really like that, because at the end of the day, you can check everything you want on your little, fancy smart screen, but you don't have to. You can wait and read it in the morning.
Well, we have a lot in common.
Sort of helps me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate your time, and have a great day.
All right, take care.
Listening to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. We'll be back with a new horizon, but until then, honor the future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee.
And we're all just trying to make the next day a bit better.